Life is filled with hardship, one after the other, tests. You have to adjust your dreams. One day you will have a lot of wealth. The next day you will struggle because you will suffer a loss. You have to suffer a loss. It's Allah's promise. Because that verse that I was reading in Surah Al-Baqarah, where Allah says, وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ, you know what He speaks about in there? بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ, I will definitely test you. Some days you will be inflicted with fear, khawf. Fear of what? All types of fear. You are scared. Look at the people in some of the lands around us. May Allah protect our lands. May Allah grant them ease and goodness. Innocent people, they were living. They had nothing. Nothing was happening. They weren't interfering with anybody. They had to run away. Their homes were destroyed. Everything happened. They found to be refugees all across the globe. What happened to them? Take a lesson. We are concerned. We want to see solution. We are Muslimin. We want a stop to all the fighting and killing. That's how it's supposed to be. That's what we make dua for. Sometimes there is confusion. We don't even understand what's going on. That's how much confusion there is. But the lesson to learn is, those people, a lot of them had more comfortable lives than you have today. Do you realize that? What happened? Allah says, we tested them. We tested them. They adapted. They went. They came. Those people who were living, in air condition, those people who had beautiful beddings, they were found later on to be in camps of refugees where they don't even have a blanket. But they got used to it. Allah gifted them by allowing their bodies to adjust, by allowing their system to adjust. You have to adjust. If you don't, you get depressed. You become sick. You suffer a sickness, a mental disease, because you did not adjust. You have to adjust. When you lost your job, or your salary went down, or they were retrenching people and you had to go, for example, don't be depressed. Make the most of what you have. Some of the people who are the healthiest and wealthiest are from among those who one day they suffered a dip and then they came up. They suffered a dip and then they came up. I can give you a true story of a man who went to look for a job as a cleaner at one company in the United States. It's a true story. And he went for the interview. He had the interview, and this person asked him that, what's your email? At the end of the interview, what's your email? He says, I don't have an email. He says, if you don't have an email, you are a nobody. You are a nobody. We cannot give you the job if you don't have the email. Anyway, he was disgruntled, upset. He walked out. As he went out, he saw some people selling tomatoes. They call them tomatoes in America. Anyway, selling tomatoes on the road, and what happened is, he realized, hey, this is also a good way of earning money. So he went to the market, he brought some tomatoes, he bought some, he sold, and he bought a few more and he sold, and he became a person who sells vegetables. And in no time, mashallah, he started delivering one corner to the other with a little bit of a profit. And before, he bought a little stall and a little, one of those, what do they call them? A simple stall, one of those little stalls. And he started selling from that, and he was going on, and it got to a time when he bought a corner store, and after that he became a big supplier, huge, and he became one of the biggest in vegetables. And one day he was invited to some some company, huge, for some function, and he went there and he met that man. Which man? A man who told him, you are nobody, isn't it? And today he was somebody. And guess what? When they met, and he was so thankful, where he said, you know what? If I was given that job, I was just going to be still a cleaner in your office. Did you hear that? But because you did not give me the job, and you told me I'm a nobody, I walked out and I started a business. And today, without an email, I'm somebody. Subhanallah. So I want to show you, this is an example to tell you that, you know what, my brothers and sisters, when you are rejected somewhere, perhaps Allah wants you to do something big, but if you become depressed, you won't be able to see the opportunities Allah has placed in front of your nose. This man had to look to see the tomatoes, and he realized, hey, this is a good idea. If he was depressed, he wouldn't even notice those tomatoes. He wouldn't even notice. So many of us here, we can relate to what I'm saying, because you have a job today, tomorrow you don't have the job. It can happen. Don't let it depress you. I am here to tell you Allah is in charge. Allah is in control. Did you not have beautiful days? Yes, you did. So thank Allah. And continue working. I'm not saying sit back and relax and become a person who's just sitting and watching. No. You have to actually go and try and work and do something that will help you in a beautiful way. And inshallah, in that way, you will be able to grow. So life is...